We have three crews this morning out live, or three live crew, as I like to call it.
Yes.
Let's start with News 13's Victoria Dunkel.
She's in downtown Asheville. So, Vic, you're in our mobile track unit. You guys have been driving around throughout Buncombe County this morning. What are you seeing?
Yes. Well, we're seeing that the roads are staying snow covered. Let me flop the button over here and let you see what's going on. We just saw a plow truck turn off of this road here. We are on Biltmore Avenue, and he went on to Hilliard here. And we're going to try to see if we can follow him and see what the conditions are. But what's going on is basically the plow trucks go through, they scrape, and things, you know, in some places get right down to the pavement. But then shortly, just in a few minutes, you can see the snow is still falling, and you can see that it covers the road again. Now, right now, we're right at the freezing mark, about 32, 33 degrees is what I saw on the last sign we went past. And so we're not at a point where we can say that it's going to be an easy thing where we won't have ice form underneath it before the snow comes down again. So very dicey conditions is what I would say. Just checked, and the Highway Patrol says they have had more than 50 accidents since midnight. Fortunately, no major wrecks to report at this time. But again, they're warning everyone, the roads are treacherous. Don't be out here if you don't have to be out here. The other thing to keep in mind is power outages. Ingrid has been talking about how this snow came down and it was wet and it's heavy. And the last check I had, we had close to 5,000 power outages in western North Carolina, a few hundred, just shy of 1,000 in the upstate area. Way more of an impact to the east of us as far as power outages go. So hopefully we have missed that major impact, but it's very early and the snow is still coming down, so it could weigh down on those branches as well. But right now the big situation is snow-covered roads, and we are being very cautious as we're driving around here. But we're going to check things out, maybe hit an interstate, a few more of the side roads, and see what's going on. But you can see right here, this is nice and snow-covered and packed. And we're reporting live in Asheville. Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
Moving now to our crew in Transylvania County.
That's right. News 13's Lauren Brigman is live in Brevard. And Lauren, walk us through the conditions there.
Well, when you're waking up this morning, this is what you're going to see. You're going to head out to your car, a coating of snow. I mean, this is pretty hard to even move it off of your windshield. Luckily, it doesn't look like they'll need an ice scraper. Just kind of scrape it off with your hand there this morning. But this is a very heavy snowfall. You can see this tree right here. I mean, it is weighing it down. And that's the big issue today, is this heavy snow that has fallen, definitely causing some power outages because it's weighing on these trees and these power lines. So it's perfect snow for sledding, for making snowmen, snow angels, but not good for driving. We'll show you the roadway here. This is Asheville Highway that runs behind us here in Brevard. This is the intersection of Highway 276, 64, and 280. Crews have been treating these roads all morning. We followed a DOT truck into the city of Brevard, but again, they had a little trouble. They were swerving even in front of us. So if that tells you anything, these roads are still bad this morning. They're trying their best to clear, of course, the primary routes first. So this one out here looks pretty good, but of course the exit ramps, of course, still in kind of bad shape. So again, if you don't have to be out, of course, the best thing to do is stay at home and play in the snow, enjoy the snow. They have about 6 inches here in the city of Brevard. We measured it for you a little bit ago. So great snow to get out, you know, call it a snow day, have fun, play in it. But definitely the big issue, heavy, heavy snow. It's going to weigh on those trees and power lines. Reporting live in Brevard, I'm Lauren Brigman, News 13.
News 13's Lauren Brigman is live in Transylvania County, continuing our triple coverage in what I am calling 3 Live Crew.
That's right. 3 live crews out for you this morning. Lauren, you're out in Brevard. How are the road conditions where you are?
It was a little dicey making our way into downtown Brevard here, but we have seen several cars traveling Main Street and Broad Street here in downtown Brevard, and the roads are becoming very slushy. The more cars that hit the roads, becoming very slushy. Crews are out, of course, concentrating on those primary routes first, then making their way to the secondary roads. But as you can see, the snow just piled up there in the center of the roadway, so definitely extensive amount of snowfall that fell here on the roads. And definitely dicey travel, as you can tell, people taking it very slow as you're getting out this morning. And as you make your way to the car, be ready to get the ice scraper out, get the snow scraper out, and take care of that. Give yourself plenty of time, of course, to get to your destination. But of course, if you can, stay home and enjoy the snow. It has stopped falling here in downtown Brevard, but they saw 6 or so inches in some spots. We were checking it on our way in, but the even main roads are still dicey for travel. As I said, snow piled up here in the middle of Main Street, and it's a very powdery snow, but definitely underneath it, just that slush and that really nasty for driving. So if you have to get out, use extra caution this morning. Reporting live in Brevard, I'm Lauren Brigman, News 13.
And we continue our triple coverage right now.
News 13's Victoria Dunkel is live in downtown Asheville in our mobile track unit. So, Vic, any changes you've seen now?
Yeah, actually, we're turning onto some of the side roads. The main roads through downtown still have a nice layer of snow on them. Nice by meaning there's an amount to be seen, not necessarily nice to drive on. Let's take a look, though, here. We're on Brevard Road in West Asheville, heading through the neighborhood here. And you can see it's somewhat clear, but we were just checking the temperature, and it's right around 29 degrees. So if things drop, this could freeze over, and that's a challenge. The city of Asheville, the police department, is asking people to stay put and not come out onto these roads because they're just not safe enough yet for people to be really flooding with the morning drive. And I'm guessing a lot of people are going to get the day off. Hopefully you'll get a chance to play in all of the snow rather than try to drive in all of it. The other thing to keep in mind is that we have some power outages going on across the region. That situation has changed dramatically. We were on the air live at 4 this morning, and at that point we had about 7,300 in the area. We are now down to about 2,700 or so in the area, mostly to the west of us. Not a whole lot right in the Asheville area, thankfully, but it could be, the situation could have been a lot worse. We have seen the snow tapering off here, barely coming down at all at this point. But again, we've been following the conditions all the way from South Buncombe County into South Asheville, up through downtown, out toward Weaverville, back into the West Asheville area right now, and nowhere have we found roads that we would call good by any stretch of the imagination. So sit tight. We'll keep tracking the conditions for you, and don't even be in a hurry to get out here because it's not a great driving situation. Live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
And our live team coverage continues with News 13's Evan Donovan.
That's right. He's live in downtown Hendersonville. Evan, what are you seeing there?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Yeah, I had a little bit of trouble this morning, but finally up and ready. And as you can see in downtown Main Street, Hendersonville, it is absolutely gorgeous. A little winter wonderland here. The snowscape right about 4.5 inches. In fact, I'm going to show you, go ahead and prove it to you. We got the ruler on top of a mailbox here right outside the Henderson County Courthouse. And as you can see, just underneath 5 inches here. I actually plucked on a couple of cars nearby to make sure. And that's what we're seeing right down here, about 4.5, 4 3/4 inches in downtown Hendersonville. Now, on the drive over here, we drove on 64 out towards Brevard, also on I-26 coming down here. Roads are very slushy, and we did see a decent amount of abandoned vehicles, most of those being ones that didn't have four-wheel drive. So be careful if you do have to be out there. You're probably going to get stuck until those roads warm up a little bit for later on today. I talked to the Henderson County Sheriff's Office, dispatch, also Rutherford County, not seeing any accidents or any major issues on roadways right now. They're saying that most people are staying off of them, so that's obviously good news. Now, coming up in our next half hour, I got a couple tricks for you that you can do with the snow, because I think today is going to be one of these fluffy, fun snow days for everybody who doesn't have to go to work.
This latest round of winter weather has hit us hard.
No doubt about it. News 13's Evan Donovan is live in downtown Hendersonville. Evan, any improvements there?
No, it's actually kind of stable right now. No snow coming down. You can see we got about 4.5, almost 5 inches yesterday. We got the ruler right here on top of the mailbox. We're on downtown Hendersonville on Main Street, right outside the Henderson County Courthouse, and things are looking pretty calm. Cars are staying off the road. Dispatch tells me they've only got one disabled vehicle, so people are tending to stay home, it sounds like. So we're going to do something a little bit fun right now. You can actually light snow on fire. I don't know if you knew that, but you can. So build up something that's, a little bit of snow safety away from everything, and use some hand sanitizer, usually high in alcohol content. And if you get the right kind and you're careful with how you do it, don't try this at home, kids. But this is a little bit of a cool experiment if you've got mom and dad around, and you can light snow on fire, which is actually kind of cool. Obviously, that's not really going anywhere. That's just a pile of snow, so it's pretty safe. But obviously, you shouldn't try this at home unless you have parental guidance. But trying to do some fun things out here, because it sounds like people are really taking the warnings and staying home and off the road. So if you have to be out, make sure you're careful. Otherwise, stay home and enjoy the snow. Reporting live in Hendersonville, I'm Evan Donovan for News 13.
Getting out on the roads is not advised.
Absolutely. News 13's Evan Donovan picks up our live team coverage from Main Street in Hendersonville. Evan, what's the situation there? All right, I think we just lost his audio there. Right now, let's turn to News 13's Victoria Dunkel and our mobile track unit.
Yeah, she's live in downtown Asheville. They've been driving around all morning long, pretty much throughout all of Buncombe County. We've even had you guys out in the Weaverville area. So how are things looking now that you're back towards downtown?
Well, you know, we are just getting off I-26 and gone onto Amboy Road here. Let me show you what we're dealing with. The interstate was looking nice and clear, but as you can see here, side roads still tricky. Would not want to be having to deal with this a whole lot. I'm glad I'm not driving, to be quite honest. I don't know, Adam's doing a great job here for us as we're moving along through this area. But what I've been hearing from different resources, Buncombe County dispatchers, Asheville police, and so on, they're saying, listen, these road conditions are not safe. You need to stay put. The big challenges they're having earlier was that the road crews, DOT was telling me they'd just get a road cleared and the snow was coming down so fast that it was covered again before they even, were done with that whole stretch, so to speak. That has changed a little bit. So the road crews are getting ahead of the game at this point because the snow has tapered off in most of the areas. But as you can see, some of these secondary roads are still ice covered, snow covered for the most part. There are some slick spots here and there. Right now we're hovering around 32 degrees at the freezing mark. There goes a plow truck right there. Some of the busiest people I've seen all morning long. But the freezing mark is where we're at right now. So if temperatures drop, these wet roads could freeze over and create a whole new challenge for us. Wanted to let you know though, the conditions with the power outages are getting better. I just checked, and for our region, the countdown is down to a much lower amount. We've seen the numbers drop from about 7,200 to right around the 2,000 to 2,500 mark at this point. Most of them to the west of us. No major outages here in the Asheville area. Again, though, all of the authorities I've spoken to have said, please stay put. They're having issues with emergency crews even running into problems trying to navigate these roads. So they don't need any of us extra drivers out here on the roads who don't need to be out here. We are tracking the conditions for you. We are being very cautious, and we're making sure we stay clear and letting them have, get where they need to be. But these road crews are working hard. They're doing their best to get these roads cleared for us, but it's going to be a little while longer before it's really a safe idea to get out. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
All right, Evan can hear us. Now we can hear him.
All right, Evan, how's it looking where you are in Hendersonville on Main Street?
Yeah, sorry you couldn't hear me there a second ago, guys. But yeah, we've seen crews up and down Main Street cleaning off the road, trying to make sure that for people who do have to be out, it is a little bit cleaner and easier to get around. We actually just saw the general manager from Mike's on Main. He was hoofing it right up Main Street. He was going into work. They're obviously going to open today and try and serve people with coffee and breakfast and keep everybody warm around here. We're right outside the Henderson County Courthouse, where I also had Mark and Barney. They've been working all night since 7 p.m. last night to clean up this entire area. As you can tell, downtown Main Street in Hendersonville looks gorgeous. A little winter wonderland here. Nice little snowscape. And we've been showing you a couple of tricks. I've talked to Henderson County Dispatch in Rutherford County. They're seeing only a few minor disabled vehicles. People are heeding the warnings to stay off the road. So we're showing you a couple fun things to do in the snow. Last hour, we showed you how to light snow on fire, a little trick you can use with hand sanitizer. And then this is something I like to do just, with some food coloring. I just made a little 13 right here in the snow. You can see that. But you can make obviously whatever you want and try and color up your snowscape a little bit outside your house. So just some fun things that you can do. And coming up in the next half hour, I'll have something even more fun that you can do that involves something everyone likes to eat. Hint, ice, snow, cream. I think you get the picture, Jay and Holly.
I think we figured it out. I just don't want you setting any more snow on fire out there.
Hey, it did look cool, but not advised for the kids.
No, not at all.
All right, we've been asking you all morning long to send us your snow totals for where you live. So here's some that I've got in on my Facebook page. Beverly Cogdill has 7 inches in Clyde. Jonathan Henson, 6 inches in Cullowhee. We've got reports of 5 inches in Arden, 6 in Inca Candler, 6 in Marshall,
right,
5 in Clyde, 5 in Crusoe, and 9 inches in Beuladine, 7 in Leicester.
Yeah, I'm seeing 6 inches in Mills River as well. So it is piling up everywhere.
It certainly is.
And right now, let's head to Brevard to see how the conditions are there.
And that's where News 13's Lauren Brigman has been for us all morning long. Lauren, plows have been busy there overnight.
Definitely. We've seen them on the main routes, DOT crews on the main routes, and then in the parking lots trying to clear those. Many snowplows across Transylvania County busy this morning. More people are starting to hit the roads, creating very slushy conditions on the roadway. Trouble spots are when you turn from one road onto another. You can see the snow kind of building up there. Definitely people taking it very slow during the turns. You can see the amount of snow that fell on Main Street here in downtown Brevard. It's kind of piled up there in the center. Very tricky travel conditions. Of course, if you have to get out this morning, give yourself extra time to make that extra long commute. It took me double the time to get into work today, so use extra caution. Talked to Transylvania County dispatchers earlier. So far, no wrecks reported in the county, but a tree did fall on a car overnight. No injuries, luckily, but definitely these trees are weighed down with this heavy snow. As you can see, this truck here taking it very slow this morning. That's the best thing to do. This is a very heavy, wet snow, so it's going to make travel very tricky, especially when you're trying to navigate those turns. So use extra caution this morning. Reporting live in downtown Brevard, I'm Lauren Brigman, News 13.
Driving conditions are dangerous as a result of all of this snow.
News 13's Lauren Brigman is live right now in Brevard. Lauren, how are things looking right there right now?
It is definitely a beautiful picture here in downtown Brevard. Very heavy snow coating the trees and the shrubs here. I measured 9 inches in some locations. So we've seen everything from 4 to 9 inches. The sidewalks here have been scraped, but they are still very icy. So use caution if you're making your way into downtown Brevard this morning. Very slushy conditions on the roads. This is Main Street running through downtown Brevard. It has been scraped, but you can see just in the middle there how much snow fell on this road overnight. Traveling along NC 280 up to downtown Brevard, we saw DOT crews there, but of course the DOT truck, as I told you earlier, was sliding just a little bit in front of us, so that's an indication just how icy it is and snow covered. Of course, the snow makes travel conditions tricky as well, but more cars are starting to filter in here in downtown. We've seen in just the past 30 minutes, taking it very slow, of course, as you navigate the turns, because there's a very slushy barrier even under that snow piling up on surfaces here. And you know, Jay, I think I'm just going to take a seat here. I've saved you guys a seat beside me right here. So if you want to come join me, it's definitely fun. A great snow day. You can play out in the snow, and I've saved you a seat right here, Jay. Reporting live in downtown Brevard, Lauren Brigman, News 13.
You don't like the cold.
I don't like the cold.
No,
Nope,
you like
I'm going to
Lauren,
pass.
but not the cold. I think that may win. Let's turn now to News 13's Victoria Dunkel.
She picks up our live team coverage in Asheville, and Victoria, crews have plenty of snow to deal with where you're traveling right now.
Yeah, we're coming up to West Asheville area. We were just onto Haywood Road here, and we're coming up Brevard Road to meet up with Haywood, actually. Let me tell you this and let you see what's going on. You can see there have been crews that have gone through here. The roads still have a decent amount of snow on them. What we're hearing from state troopers, I was just talking to Trooper Kelly Rhodes, and he said that the interstates are nice and clear, and we just saw that for ourselves, but now we're on the side roads. The problem is for people who have to get to the interstate to get to work. It's these secondary roads that haven't had a lot of attention, that are still snow covered in worse condition than this in some places, and that's the problem. The other issue is the ramps on and off the interstate, still a little dicey as well. 11 wrecks in the region since midnight, just a couple cleared not too long ago. Now the DOT crews, I spoke to them, and they said they are working as hard and as quickly while safely as they can to get to all of the roads, but of course they start with the main roads, they go to the secondary, and the big challenge was for the longest time, the majority of this was a lot of snow coming at us in a short period of time. They'd clear a road, come back a minute later, and it was covered in snow again. They're getting a break from that now that the snow has let up, but again, these are roads we don't need to kind of beat this over and over and over, but this is the advice we keep hearing. Stay off of these unless you have to be on them, and if you do have to be on them, go slowly and be prepared for slick conditions. We're going to keep traveling around, see what's going on for you this morning, and let you know where you need to stay away from in order to stay safe. Reporting live in Asheville, Victoria Dunkel, News 13.
And right now, let's see how conditions are looking in Hendersonville.
And that's where News 13's Evan Donovan picks up our live team coverage. What's the situation like there?
Yeah, roads are getting better. It's a lot of DOT crews are out. We're watching them sort of shove off these roadways. We're on Main Street, Hendersonville, right outside the Henderson County Courthouse. You can see there's some taxis coming by. There's also been a lot of those DOT trucks, and a lot of four-wheel drive vehicles. Those aren't having any problems with the roadways today. It's obviously those two-wheel drive vehicles that are getting stuck. But so far, between Rutherford County and Henderson County, we have no abandoned vehicles, no accidents to report this morning. So we're going to teach you how to do something fun with the kids, because this is that fluffy kind of snow that is going to make for really good playtime if you don't have to go to work or school, which most of you probably don't. Update on snow conditions here. We got about 4.5, almost 5 inches last night, it looks like, in downtown Hendersonville. That's right at 5. So we'll teach you how to make some snow right now, some ice cream right now from the snow. First ingredient, you need about 1/3 of a cup of sugar. So I brought my sugar with me, and I brought a little measuring cup, and that is about 1/3 of a cup. Jay, when you get to be an experienced chef like I am, you can just, skip the exact measurements because you don't really need them. Then you go with a cup of milk. It can be any milk, but I'm going with whole milk because, I want it to be a nice, thick, tasty ice cream. So we throw a little bit of that in there. Oh, and you want about a teaspoon of vanilla. We put that in there already. And then on top of that, you just use a pinch of salt, which should be available right there. And once you put all that together, then you go ahead and whisk that. And you just do this for a little bit, probably about, 3 minutes or so. You want to whisk this all together, get this nice and frothy, and make sure it's a nice little base for your ice cream. And once you get all of that frothed up, then you want to use clean snow. Obviously, avoid the colored snow, kids. And you want to use clean snow, and you just throw this on top here and continue whisking it all together. And when I come back and see you guys later on this half hour, we're going to do a taste test with my cameraman, Todd Robbins.
Oh my gosh. You know you've made a mess of my city down there this morning.
Well,
Jay, I'm going to clean it all up. I promise. I'm definitely going to clean it all up. I swear.
And I want to know how that tastes later on. Your pinch of salt looked to be a little heavy there for your non-measuring this morning.
Hey, just trust me, Holly. Just trust me. It's fine. Don't worry.
All right, the taste test coming up.
Coming up on 6:52 on your Thursday morning, conditions are dangerous on the roads as the winter storm brought plenty of snow.
News 13's Evan Donovan is live in Hendersonville with seriousness and fun. Evan?
Hey, that's right, guys. First, want to address the seriousness. The roads are bad, particularly on those secondary roads. Victoria's been telling you about them all morning long in the Asheville area, and we're seeing the same thing around here in Henderson County. My photographer, Todd Robbins, and I driving around earlier today. A lot of bad conditions on the roads. You can see this is Main Street in downtown Hendersonville. It looks great. We've seen plows scooping up all the snow and getting it out of the way all morning, but we know from driving around that those secondary roads are bad, so please stay off them if you can. But Rutherford County and Henderson County dispatchers tell us no accidents, no disabled vehicles right now, so we're doing something fun. Last half hour I showed you how to make some ice cream out of snow. Now here comes the big taste test. This is what we ended up with, okay? Then I take my little cup here and scoop out a nice big helping of this. I'm on this boot camp, so I'm really technically not supposed to have this, Jay and Holly, but we get some, some sprinkles in there because, it's ice cream. And you know what? It's my birthday tomorrow, so I'm going to go ahead and taste it, and that's not that bad. That's actually not that bad. It's really pretty good. See if you can do it at home. We posted the recipe on our website. Tell me what kind of success you have with it. Post pictures and anything you can to our website or our Facebook page. Jay, Holly?
The sprinkles are a nice touch.
They are.
They were really a nice touch for the top of that.
His lips are frozen after you eat it.
Oh my God.
I'm telling your trainer, Evan, broke the rules.